So you're saying there's a chance?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. If you're frustrated and feel like buying a home is such a hopeless task, I'm here to share two success stories that recently happened for me and my clients. So I'm going to be talking about two different wins here. The first one, a single family home purchase in Riverside County, California. The second one, a condo purchase in San Diego, California. So the great news about both of these is we got lower monthly payments because of the loan type we chose, and both of these families won out against multiple offers, and most importantly, both these families got keys to their first homes. So excited to share how these went down. Success story number one. These clients ended up buying a single family home in Riverside County for a purchase price of $515,000. I met them in February of 2023. They were very excited to get the process started. They were looking to use the Dream for All program, the 20% of shared appreciation program in California. Unfortunately, their credit score was too low at the time. So we came up with a game plan of paying off some debt, getting the credit score up, and saving up a little bit more for closing costs and potentially their own down payment. The next thing we discussed was using down payment assistance versus their own funds. And we ended up deciding to use their own funds. The down payment assistance programs that were available were higher interest rate, so a higher monthly payment. And the second part was that they ended up saving enough to have reserves and use their own funds. So we went that route. Very important in this story. These clients were very decisive about what type of home they wanted. So this gave them confidence to move forward with writing offers and made the home shopping process fun for them. Okay, so we're going to go into a little bit of the loan qualification. So first, we were looking at 683 credit score, monthly income of about $15,000 a month, monthly debts $1,400 a month, assets $73,000, and the target monthly payment they were looking for was $4,400, including principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and HOA if applicable. They ended up with a very, very low debt to income ratio of 26% front end and 35% back end. So in a really, really good situation. Okay, here are the loan details. So purchase price, $515,000, down payment, 3.5% down, $18,025. This was in July, and their interest rate was a 6.25%. So we're going to go over the estimated monthly payment at the open of escrow. So principal and interest, $3,014, property tax, $580, mortgage insurance, $227, hazard insurance, about $79 for an all-in payment of about $4,000, just a little bit under $4,000. So well within the target that we were looking for of monthly payment. Some details about the actual real estate transaction. The first, this was a multiple offer situation. What does that mean? That means the seller had multiple offers and we ended up being the offer they selected. You might be wondering, why did they pick your client's offer? Well, our real estate agent did a great job negotiating timeframes that worked for us and for the sellers. And the listing agent called me to verify what kind of borrowers these were. So I gave him the rundown of, this is going to be a low debt to income scenario. They have plenty of assets to close. They are very serious buyers. Some items of note that helped our clients. First, the home needed some repairs. So this gave us some wiggle room in negotiations. Second, the seller needed to sell their home to buy a new home. We went with an FHA loan, which means that the FHA appraisal stays with the home for 180 days. So in this specific example, the purchase price or contract price that we opened at was $515,000. When we got the appraisal came back to $480,000. So there was a $35,000 difference Couple things could have happened here. The buyers would have had to come out of pocket an additional $35,000 to cover the difference. The seller and the buyer could have met in the middle at $490, or the seller could lower the price to $480. In this transaction, because we knew the seller needed to sell this home to buy their new one, we knew they wouldn't want to fall out of escrow and open escrow again. Because the reality is, maybe they got additional FHA offers, and even if they accepted those, this $480K appraised value would have stuck with the home for another 180 days. This gave us the leverage to negotiate to a lower purchase price of $480. This is why it's important that you work with a real estate agent and lender who understand the nuances of FHA loans. So we went over the new purchase price of $480, $35,000 less than what they were under contract for. Still 3.5% down payment, $16,800, so a little bit less out of pocket. Same interest rate. Now let's go over the payments. So their principal and interest, $2,851. Mortgage insurance, $207, a little bit of change. Estimated escrow, you might be wondering what that is. That is the homeowner's insurance and property tax, about $629 a month. So their total monthly payment ended up being around $3,687. That is well below the $4,400 monthly payment they were looking for. Overall, huge win. We love these types of scenarios. Major key alert.
So let me give you a major key.
So if there's anything to be learned from these two success stories, here are the most important lessons. The first, be decisive. Know what you're looking for and don't hesitate to submit a strong offer. Another major key, stick to the game plan and execute. So in scenario one, my clients had to get their credit score up. They had to pay down some debts. They had to save up a little bit more, and they just stuck to the game plan and they knocked it out of the park. Another great lesson to be learned was from scenario number 2. So work with a lender who can educate agents. This 100% helped us get our offer accepted because both the buyer's agent and the listing agent were a little bit unsure about the FHA loan process. Another major key, don't be afraid to ask. Now, what do I mean by that? So in scenario 1, we were under contract at a purchase price of $515,000. The appraisal came back short by $35,000 for a price of $480,000. Now, some agents might have been too scared to ask to lower that purchase price from the sellers. But in our scenario, our agents did a great job negotiating on our client's behalf and got the purchase price reduced to the appraised value of $480,000. If you loved these two success stories or thought this video was helpful or educational in any way, subscribe for more stories and home buying tips.